important penalty kick of his life. To prove his strength, the boy makes a stunning move. He takes off his boots and steps up to the penalty spot barefoot. With a powerful strike, he drills the ball past the goalkeeper into the net. In the subsequent training matches, he plays like a football wizard, sending a group of adults spinning in circles. At this moment, no one can foresee that this boy, accustomed to playing barefoot, will one day become a world-renowned legendary star. The boy's name is Bandian, and he has lived in a slum since childhood. Like other children, he loves football, but because they are too poor, they can only knit a makeshift ball out of yarn. Playing for a short while on a dusty clearing every day is the happiest moment of the children's day. One day, they happen to see what a real football looks like in a book. From then on, Bandian resolves that he will not only play with a real football, but also become an outstanding football player. So, he runs to the village priest to ask for a lucky charm. The priest predicts that he will become the most famous football star in Africa. The seed of a dream is sown. To buy a real football, Bandian calls on his older brother. They pull a cart loaded with wood from the village, traveling over 10 kilometers across the scorching sun to sell it to a sawmill owner in town. However, the entire cart of wood only fetches a meager income of a few hundred. Taking this small amount of money to the market, the brothers discover that they cannot even afford a plastic ball. A leather football here costs as much as 80,000 guinea francs. Unaware of what this amount really means, the brothers ask their math teacher during class. The teacher tells them that they need to sell 7 kilograms of wood every day for 522 days to save enough money. Although it sounds incredibly difficult, Bandian does not give up. He works tirelessly, carrying heavy wood every day, forging ahead on the path of his dream. Every step he takes is paving his way to good fortune. Until one day, fortune finally smiles upon him. An off-road vehicle drives toward him, carrying a beautiful young lady who gives Bandian a real football. It turns out that not long ago, when his mother fell gravely ill, Bandian went to the village clinic for help, where he met this kind and beautiful doctor. During their conversation, the doctor learned that Bandian worked hard selling wood every day just to buy a real football. Yet, to pay for his mother's medical care, he had spent his meager savings. Moved by his resilience and filial piety, the doctor gifted him a leather football. Overjoyed, Bandian and his brother paint the ball gold and eagerly show it off in the village before playing with his friends on the clearing. Seeing this, his father, who was working nearby as a blacksmith, harshly scolds Bandian for only playing. To his father, such games do nothing to improve their lives. Unfortunately, a stray kick from Bandian hits his father right in the face. As his father falls, a glowing hot iron rod drops onto a nearby haystack. While the villagers blame Bandian, a fire quietly breaks out. Fortunately, everyone quickly extinguishes it. Single-handedly, Bandian almost burns their underdeveloped village back to the Stone Age. Knowing he is in deep trouble, he grabs his football and runs away. Seeing the village chief searching for Bandian, his brother hides nearby and senses trouble, quickly warning him. He anxiously tells Bandian never to return home, for if the chief catches him, a severe beating awaits. Following his brother's advice, Bandian begins his flight, deciding to travel to a distant city to pursue his dream of becoming a professional player. Although he hitches a ride on a truck, being penniless means he must risk his life working as the driver's assistant. Unluckily, the old truck breaks down halfway. To make matters worse, the driver has no repair tools and tells Bandian to wait there while he fetches them. But even as night falls, the driver does not return to the empty African plains, leaving Bandian alone with the dilapidated vehicle. Holding his beloved football under the truck, his heart fills with terror. As darkness deepens, terrifying sounds echo around him like the roars of wild beasts. Nervously, he climbs into the driver's cabin, but the sight of a claw pendant hanging there only intensifies his fear. Suddenly, a light appears behind the truck. Bandian instinctively hides. When the light approaches, he realizes it is just a cyclist passing by. Fortunately, it is just a false alarm. The next morning, at the rumble of another passing truck, Bandian immediately leaps out and blocks it in the middle of the road. In this way, Bandian hitches a ride to town. There, he meets a strange man who, seeing the football in Bandian's arms, drags him along without a word. It turns out the man is a referee, and since the match ball was ruined, he wants to borrow Bandian's ball. Through a twist of fate, Bandian joins the game. It is this very match that brings him a step closer to his dream. Competing against a group of adults, Bandian holds his ground completely. His extraordinary talent makes him look like a nimble sprite, weaving effortlessly across the pitch. The opponents can only stop his runs by fouling him. Facing a 5-man wall, Bandian merely casts a disdainful glance and curls in an exquisite free kick. The roaring cheers of the crowd catch the attention of a white man, who begins recording with his video camera. Bandian cleverly evades a sliding tackle, charges forward with the ball, and leaves one opponent behind with a body feint, followed by 2 more feints to bypass another 2 defenders. After passing to a teammate, he sprints into the box, connects with a return pass using his head, and fires a brilliant volley into the net to win the game. While they celebrate, the truck driver catches up to him, forcing Bandian to grab his football and flee. At this moment, Bandian has no idea that this white man holding the camera will become the mentor who changes his life forever. On his escape, Bandian spots a familiar off-road vehicle, opens the door, and hops inside. It belongs to the female doctor, allowing him to evade the truck driver. However, the doctor wants to take Bandian back to his village, believing it is unsafe for a child to be out alone. Bandian has no desire to go back, explaining that he needs to go to the coastal town where his sister works. Since the doctor has business there, she gives him a ride. She sternly instructs Bandian that he must return to the village with her in 3 days. Although he agrees on the surface, he remains determined to stay and seek a way onto a team. He plans to stay with his sister, but she feels it is a bad idea because she shares the rented house with a friend and does not want to cause trouble. She buys him a ticket back to the village. Yet on the bus, Bandian meets a business owner and follows him to an unfamiliar place. He spends the night there, only to be awakened early the next morning by a boy. Hiding his football behind the bed, he follows the boy to the shore. In this foul-smelling environment, they have to gather decayed cow horns until they fill a large sack, which they then take back to polish. The boss in charge treats Bandian coldly, mocking him for washing his hands before meals. If anyone is late for mealtime, they miss out on the shift food. As a newcomer, Bandian never expected that even getting a meal would be this difficult, leaving him to work on an empty stomach. Fortunately, a kind man named Booba saves a portion of lunch for him. During his time working, Bandian never forgets his dream, practicing on the beach whenever he has a break. However, his co-workers mock and play cruel tricks on him. He struggles to get his ball back, but they kick it into a private villa, where the furious owner confiscates it. Seeing Bandian's heartbreak, Booba decides to give him a surprise. The two arrive at a metal tower, watching a crowd of people scramble up. Booba suggests they climb as well, but Bandian feels hesitant. Seeing Booba take the lead, however, gives Bandian the courage to follow. It turns out a professional football match is taking place, drawing thousands of fans. One can buy tickets to enter, but the poor must risk climbing the tower to secure a view. For Bandian, watching a live game for the first time is magical, but his joy multiplies when the match ball is kicked up onto the viewing platform. Without hesitation, Bandian leaps down after it. Though Booba is terrified, Bandian is unhurt, picking up the ball and showing off his skills on the platform. Every eye turns to him, including the white man with the video camera. Ignoring the players demanding the ball back, Bandian is completely lost in his own world. He only kicks the ball back onto the pitch when several police officers chase him onto the roof. Unfortunately, his stunt leads to everyone on the tower being arrested. Bandian clamors to get out, but it is no easy task. He wonders how he will ever chase his dreams now. Fortunately, the confinement is short-lived. The white man arrives at the prison, posing as Bandian's employer, and bails both Bandian and Booba out. It turns out this man is an eagle-eyed scout who, recognizing Bandian's incredible talent, decides to recommend him to a professional club. The scout has Bandian stay with him while he arranges a tryout. During this time, with the help of his co-workers, Bandian visits the seaside villa and successfully retrieves his football. Meanwhile, the day of the promised return arrives, but the doctor waits in vain. She tracks down Bandian's sister, and after some inquiries, they arrive at the scout's house. No matter how much the doctor coaxes him, Bandian refuses to return, wishing only to train and become a professional. When the doctor insists, his sister steps in, declaring that this is his only chance to change his life. Reluctantly, the doctor leaves alone. Upon parting, Bandian thanks the doctor for her kindness and asks her to tell his parents he is safe. Soon, the news of Bandian being discovered by a scout spreads throughout his village, and he becomes the hope of them all. Meanwhile, wearing the boots provided by the scout, Bandian arrives at Cameroon's top youth academy for a tryout. He faces 2 tests, juggling and penalty kicks. Tex. During the juggling test, Bandian displays astonishing control. His feet and the ball seemingly connected by an invisible string. Were it not for the time limit, he could have kept dancing with the ball indefinitely. Next comes the penalty shootout, where he needs to score 2 out of 3 penalties to pass. However, his first shot is blocked by the goalkeeper, instantly raising the tension. He steps back to the spot, and the coach reminds him to relax. After a brief pause, he takes off his boots. Under the astonished gaze of the onlookers, he strikes the ball into the net. Having always played barefoot, Bandian actually found the boots restrictive. Once he regains his familiar touch, he comfortably converts the 3rd penalty. The scout and his sister celebrate, and the coach offers a satisfied smile, though an older player named Toure looks far from pleased. After joining the academy, Bandian does not slacken for a second. To realize his dream, he stays behind to practice alone, after training every day. However, his diligence sparks jealousy in Toure, who fears the newcomer might take his place as the key playmaker. During a practice match, Toure deliberately ignores Bandian, refusing to pass even when Bandian is completely unmarked. The coach notices this and scolds Toure sharply, but it does little to change his behavior. Toure continues to target Bandian in subsequent training sessions, leaving him deeply confused. Bouba explains that Toure is simply threatened by his talent, though Toure stubbornly claims he remains the team's star goal scorer. Toure's frustration peaks when Bandian correctly answers a tactical question during a team meeting. In defiance, Toure challenges Bandian to a skill duel. Surrounded by cheering teammates in the stands, the two face off to determine who should lead the team. The rules are simple. Whoever juggles the longest wins. Both display incredible skill, keeping the ball perfectly controlled with their feet and heads. For a long time, they remain neck and neck, until Toure slips up during a back catch. Bandian wins the duel. He expects to gain respect, but the coach witnesses the showdown. To humble the young talent, the coach punishes Bandian by keeping him on the bench for a year. Bandian tries to explain, but the coach cuts him off. Seeing a dejected Bandian, Bouba reassures him that tomorrow will be better. Bouba even pulls out a pair of name-brand boots he saved up to buy for him. Bandian declines the gift, knowing he cannot play for a year. Unmoved by Bouba's encouragement, he feels like returning to the slums. Unwilling to see such talent wasted, Bouba sits him down to watch the Cameroon national team play on TV. The thrilling matches and the fighting spirit of the national players reignite Bandian's passion. He believes that one day, he too will stand on that pitch. Learning of Bandian's plight, the scout devises a secret plan. Before a crucial youth match, he quietly bribes an opposing player while rallying fans in the stands, telling them that a genius named Bandian is being wasted on the bench. He hopes to use crowd pressure to force the coach's hand. Back in the village, his childhood friends gather around the radio, eagerly waiting to hear Bandian's name. Yet, the coach keeps him on the bench, not even letting him wear a kit, confident that Toure can lead the team to victory. Once the game starts, Toure creates several chances, but fails to score. As the match progresses, the opponents begin targeting him. Every time Toure touches the ball, their number 4 defender slides in to knock him down. After repeated heavy fouls, an injured Toure can no longer continue. Bandian walks up to the coach, pleading for a chance. Following a tense moment of hesitation, the coach finally sends him in. The highly anticipated young prodigy steps onto the field for his very first official match. Bandian immediately finds his rhythm. Though smaller than the others, his blistering pace and agility make him unstoppable. The ball seems glued to his feet. Driven by Bandian's decisive goal, the team wins the match. The crowd erupts, and his fellow villagers celebrate. The excited commentator even hails Bandian as the new god of Cameroonian football. Back in the locker room, the coach personally hands the symbolic number 10 shirt to the young prodigy. But with such extraordinary talent, Bandian is destined for a grander stage. A year later, the scout receives a letter from France containing a youth contract from Saint Etienne. The coach is reluctant to let him go, but the scout is convinced that Bandian can reach much higher peaks. The coach insists that they must secure his father's permission first, or he will block the transfer. With no other choice, the scout takes Bandian back to his village. Seeing their childhood friend return, the local kids swarm around him, envious of his club play and even more of his chance to go to Europe. They run to the priest's hut, praying that Bandian's father will let him go. Yet, Bandian has not been home since the accidental fire, and has no idea if his father has forgiven him. Although his sister explains that the contract is worth 2 million guinea francs, enough to buy many cows, their father remains silent. Bandian approaches his father and places his hands over his. Though not a single word is spoken between them, a silent understanding is reached. Clutching his ticket and holding on to his dream, Bandian travels alone to distant France. Stepping out of the airport, he boards a taxi. Here, taking one step at a time, Bandian edges closer to his dream. Years later, he achieves his goal of becoming a professional footballer, earning stellar success and bringing glory to his hometown and country. His childhood dream is finally realized as the movie draws to a close. Bandian's character is based on the legendary Cameroonian footballer, Roger Milla. Poverty did not constrain his imagination. Even without money for a football, he made one with his own hands. Poverty did not limit his dreams. No matter how hard life got, he remained devoted to his passion, and poverty did not stop his steps. Even when his dreams seemed unreachable, he kept charging forward.